Right, I think I'm online, so if you're watching, hello. Recording this and streaming this live on Twitch. It's nothing terribly special, it's just that I fancy doing it on my dinner break. So I'm going to build a chatbot, which is a Dart scoreboard keeper, whatever you call it. So I just need to, so I've created a repository in Git for my Dart scoreboard. I'll just make sure I keep the chat window open. Not that I get many people on Twitch who want to chat, but let's give it a go anyway. So yeah, it's a Dart scoreboard game that I'm making out of for a chatbot. So I already did the Hangman game for the chatbot, and I just thought it'd be a good use of it to have a Dart scoreboard. So you're playing darts with your friend, and you can just tell the chatbot, you know, what the scores are, and so what they just scored. It will work out. It will tell you how much you got left, and it will flick between player 1, player 2, and just keep scores for you, how much you got left. And then I think what I'm going to try and do as well, after I've got this working, I'm going to try and do a like a live React and Firebase view on a web page somewhere, so you can actually see the scores live as they're happening. So the chatbot does the work for you of keeping score, and it'll also update a website for you. So you could possibly, on one phone, you've got someone who's talking to the chatbot, entering the scores, and then you've got another phone which is actually showing you the scoreboard in a bit of a fancier way to see what the scores are. So I'm starting from nothing. So as I was saying, I've just created the repository in GitHub. It's public, so you'll be able to get the code if you want to. It's just my username, prjseal/darts-scoreboard. But if you did it now, there'll be nothing there. So I'm going to use node.js and the Microsoft Bot Framework. So what I need to do is just navigate to the folder. Actually, I don't need to navigate. I can go straight to the folder. So if I do a command window from here, and then I think it's git clone, and I've copied the repo.git file address. So that's just going to hook it up with Git. So I'm all set now. So I need to start doing this. So I'll just cd into darts-scoreboard. So hopefully someone will come and join me. Oh, I need to cd, just do D. Sorry if this is painful to watch. cd Paul, cd documents / GitHub. And then cd darts scoreboard. So I'm fairly new to using Node myself. So if you are watching live, if anyone ever does watch live, please feel free to give me some tips if you think that I'm doing something wrong. I'm quite happy to accept feedback. I don't mind feedback, as long as you're not just trolling me. Anyway, so we've got that. Now if I open a folder in this, so again I'm using Visual Studio Code, which when I'm doing Node development is my editor of choice. I'll go back. Right, so now I've got the folder open in Visual Studio Code, and I'm going to create the project file using npm init. So I'll use the command window. Let me just do a bit of a zoom for you. Zoom in a bit, that might be better. If anyone does start watching and you're in the chat, just let me know if it's not small enough or too small. Sorry, not big enough or too small. That might be a bit big. I think I'll just zoom out a bit. Zoom out one. Right, so I want to do npm init so dart scoreboard version 1 description darts scoreboard chatbot. Entry point, I like to use app.js. Test command, no, I haven't got one. Git repo, yeah, it knows about that. Darts, score. Oh, author, Paul Seal. License, yeah. Is this okay? Yes, it is. Right, so I've got my files now, and it's with Visual Studio Code. It's connected to Git for me, so it's saying that there's a change in the repo, and I can actually commit this if I want to. But I'm not going to commit yet. But it's just good to know that I can. Right, so all I have at the moment is my package.json. So I need to now do some installs of things. So I need to npm install. I've not done this for a few weeks either, so I might be a bit rusty. But install bot builder. Oh, I didn't do -- save. I'll have to do it again. I'm not sure about what you're supposed to do on this. Again, if I had any viewers, you could tell me. But yeah, I need to just do -- save usually, because then it will save it in the proj file. So I'll do it again. See if that complains about doing that or not. So it looks okay at the minute. Just me on my own. Nobody watching. So I'm going to stick it on YouTube anyway. Some people like to watch these sorts of videos, so I'm not going to complain anymore. Right, so we've got that one added on, and I'll also need to do Restify. npm install Restify -- save. So that will give me everything that I need to get cracking with doing my chatbots. So the idea with what I'm going to do, the logic behind it is, to start with, it's going to ask you your name. So I need to get it to take down what player 1 name is, what player 2 name is. That's simple. So I'm going to use a bit of code that I've done in another one, just for quickness and just because I can. So the one that I want to use is this one. So do I want to download it? No. Build a Restify and request. Oh yeah, the request one, that was for doing some posts and stuff like that, but I'm not going to be doing that. So who? Let's see. Hi, what is your name? I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to go back to my file. I'm going to create a new file in here called app.js, and in the contents of it I'm just going to have what's currently happening on that hair salon chatbot, and I'm going to strip out. Right, all I want is name. I'm going to strip everything else out. Right, so intent start and begin. Oh no, on default. Really what I want it to do is just, on default, I want it to ask them the name. So let's go with this. So on default, begin dialog, ask name, otherwise next. So I'll do another one here. and I will say start game. Let's do name 1. So I'm going to be duplicating code here, but this is all part of the creative process. That's my excuse anyway. So name 1, name 2. Hi, what is your name? So I want, what is player 1's name? So what's player 1's name and what is player 2's name? So then what I'm going to do is player 1 dot name and player 2 dot name. So I'm going to store it in there. So name 1, name 2. I'll just do it player 1 name and player 2 name. So these are going to collect the information that I want. Actually, if we go back to the original, what it does is it checks if it needs to ask those. So once it's got that one, it should then ask the next one. So I might just put player 1 first and then player 2. Player 1 name there, player 2 name there, and then make sure that says player 2 name. I'll think of a way to make this more, more reusable later, but at the minute I'll just be happy with usable. So let's see what it does. So if I do node app, right, and then I need to go to downloads. And I want the bot framework. There's a bot framework emulator, so this will basically, whilst I'm developing it, will let me talk to the chatbot, which is good because that's what I need to do. So I can test out what it's going to reply with. Excuse me while I have my drink. I'm not advertising, but I'm drinking Diet Coke anyway. I'd love to be paid for advertising. So if you're watching this and you're an advertiser, please, get in touch. This is golden. This is, this sort of material that I'm producing. Get on it. I'll drink to that. Anyway, so whilst I wait for this bot framework emulator to come up, I'm just going to fill the gap, fill the space. No, not really. I'm just going to have a look at this. So in theory, it may run. It may not run, and it may run. So what I need to make sure I'm doing here is, no, it's not going to run, is it? It's going to fail big time. So I'm just going to Control C. I'm jumping ahead of myself too soon. I need to make sure that I've got all this set up. So the whole point of this is finding out player 1's name and player 2's name. Simple as that. So user data. So if user data player 1 name isn't nothing, alright, so if it doesn't exist, then ask for it. Okay, we'll do. And if player 2's name doesn't exist, ask for it. Okay, will do. Right, what's next? Then hello, and so this is just going to say hello player 1's name and player 2's name. So if I just replace this and do another comma and then that's going to say hello player 1 and player 2 basically. And then this final thing, I'm just going to say session.endDialog. But if I wanted to, I could get it to begin the dialogue. Right, so this is loaded up okay, so now I just got to tell it to listen on this port at this URL. I need to run it now, so just go node app and it's now listening. So if I say something to this, hopefully it will reply, oops, something went wrong, thank you. Oh, that's good. No, still went wrong. Oh, we don't have request. Let me get rid of request. Right, that's running now. Let's try again. Still, something went wrong. I'm not sure what went wrong. Cannot read property name of undefined. And that is where. So I must have got something. No. Haven't got a clue. User data, user data, user data. Oh, maybe, right, so I'll try, I think what I've done wrong here is I've tried to use player1.name before I've even defined player1. I don't know if that's the case. I'm just going to go with just replacing that just with just player1. So any instance of that on this, replace all. And then the same for player2. Just replace it all with .player2. Let's try that. Give it a build, see. Nobody in the chat room, still nobody. It's not very exciting, is it? Obviously no one's interested in building chatbots with nodejs and Microsoft Bot Framework. What's wrong with you? Right, let's give it a go. Hey, so it's saying, what is player one's name? So I'll say Paul. What is player two's name? Thank you. Thanks for asking. It's Stephen. Hello, Paul and Stephen. Right, so that was pretty easy. So that went through. So using the, I think this is using the waterfall technique, or something like that. It went through. It did what it needed to do for the first one. It did what it needed to do for the second one, and then it finished with that. So I could also ask other things that I need to know is what type of game we're playing. So we need to like what are you starting from? So I might give them an option of starting from say 501, 301. I don't know. I'll just get them to choose an option. So on the choosing an option, I've done this before. So I'm just going to get this from the one that I did for the salon. So who, prompt choice. Who would you like your appointment with? Okay. And then we get the result. So these two here. So now I need to create another one in here. So I've got the name. So before we can start with the game, we need to know that they're starting from a certain score. So I'm going to put this all in here as well. So the choice, no, I'm not. I am going to do it in a separate one. So I'll just paste that and then I'll just create one of these. Copy this, paste it, and then I'm just going to say score, starting score. And then I'm going to have the question be a prompt one. So the question is going to be what score are you starting from? So we're going to have, I'll do 701, 501. Is there a 701? I don't know. And 301. Let's just keep it simple. If we want to add new games, new rules, we can do that later down the line. And then I'm just going to get this to record that. So at the moment it's recording it with the variable of who. So I'm just going to say starting score. Right, so now we've got a starting score. So this should record that. So what we want to do is ask them this after their names. We want to, what score are you starting from? So we want to ask that. So if I go into here, I want one of these which checks to see if we have a starting score. And then if we don't have a starting score, then we can just call that dialog and ask for it. So that's how we will be able to get that information from the user. Still no one in the Twitter chat. Hello if you're watching on Twitter, Twitch, sorry. If you're watching on Twitch but you don't feel like talking on the chat, hello. And if you're watching on YouTube, hello. Right, so we've got a starting score dialog now, and that's going to ask what score are you starting from with a choice, 701, 501 and 301. So let's Control C out of this, and we'll do, make sure it's saved, and again do node app. And let's see what happens. So it should remember the names of player 1 and player 2, I think. So it's remembered those names, so it's gone past that. And now it's gone down to what score are you starting from. So choose 1 for 701, 2 for 501 and 3 for 101. So we want 2. That's the one I'm used to playing. Hello Paul and Stephen. Right, so that's basically saying I'm ready. I'm ready to start. So if we just get it to say, let's play darts, or something like that. So we are playing a game of, and then whatever it is. So session.userdata.starting score. And then the next line, I'll just say, let's play darts. So now if I quit out of that, run it again, go back to this, it should remember all of my choices. And it should say, hello Paul and Stephen, we are playing a game of 501, let's play darts. Right, so that again isn't that exciting, but it's just showing it's working. I wonder if I can zoom in. No, I can't zoom in. Right, let's just check that the stream's working. I'm still streaming, still recording. Thank you. Oh, I might hide the taskbar actually. Can't hide it. Oh well, I haven't got the patience or the time to change it. Oh, okay, so what else can we do? I need to plug in. That's what we'll do. We'll have a little interlude. Yeah, I'm going to do this just because otherwise, if the battery goes, it will cancel the stream. So if I did have any viewers, I've probably lost them now with my crap music, and nothing's happening. It's not even music, it's mouth noises. Now we've got bag rustling. So I'm attached to the microphone as well. Let me get a plug over here. And then let's get powered up again. Sorry about this. No one's watching anyway, it's fine. Right, back in the room. So let's get it to start some sort of game. So I want it to loop. Now, when I did the other game that I did, the Hangman game, I got that to loop as well. So if I go to the Hangman chatbot, I think it was the node.js chatbot. Oh yeah, these are all the answers. Right. So I created basically. So let's do a dialogue called throw. And when they throw, they just basically enter the score of what they got. So I will say, Paul, I'll say the player's name, you require, and then the score. And then I will wait for them to tell me how much they scored. So that shouldn't be too difficult. So I'm going to copy this guess one and add it as a throw. Throw. So I also need to manage which person is throwing. So maybe I should ask who is going to throw first. I might do that actually. I'm going to ask that. So along the same lines of starting score, I'm going to give them a choice. Who is going to throw first? Throw first. Who is going to throw first. And then you can just choose. I wonder if I can pipe in the answers. I wonder if I can put like the values of Paul. So player session dot user data dot player 1 plus that, and then on the other side do player 2. This might be good. This is groundbreaking stuff. I've not done this before. So I'm going to ask who's going first. Then they just pick 1 or 2. Then when I know who's going first, so I'll say going first. I probably prefer the actual rather than the. I'd prefer the index of what they said rather than the actual text of what they said. Well, going first is Paul or whatever. How's that going to work? Oh well, it's just going to cause me a problem. We'll handle it when we get there. You're not doing anything, it's me. I will handle it when I get to it. That means I'll forget about it and it'll be a bug. Oh well, it's on GitHub. You can submit any PRs, pull requests. Raise an issue first though, before you do, if you're going to. We're going to take this one seriously. We're going to take this to the end. Or not, are we? So we've got starting score, and then we've got who's going to throw first. Come on, tell us. We are playing a game of let's play darts, and then Paul to throw first. So this will be %s to throw first, and then we'll just pipe that in. So that will be session.user data throw going first. Right, save this, thank you. So in theory, it should ask me that question now, so I'll do a node app. In theory, it will ask me who's going to go first, because it already knows the names, it already knows what we're going to play. Right, hello Paul and Stephen, we are playing a game of 501, let's play darts, undefined to throw first. So that's not very good. So I've done something wrong, and what I've actually done is, that is wrong, is check starting score rather than going first. I keep doing Control S. I'm too used to Visual Studio, big Visual Studio. And Control S on that saves all, even though I don't need to save all, I've only got one. Node app. I've only got one document open, is what I'm saying to you. Anyway, node, alright, so it's going to say who's going to throw first, 1 Paul or 2 Stephen. Now that's good. So the options that I've saved in my user data, I've actually managed to pipe out back to the user in the options. So there's some sort of interactivity there that I think is quite good. Sorry about the hand wavy thing. Oh, this is brilliant. Hello Paul and Stephen. We are playing a game of 501. Let's play darts. Paul to throw first. Game on. Alright, don't need to say any of that. So now I also need to start the game. So we've got those. So where I had the guess thing, I copied over, now called it throw. So instead of end dialogue up here, I want to begin the dialogue of throw. And then in the dialogue of throw, I'm going to say, Paul, you require, I'm going to say, session dot user data. Now this is where it's going to go wrong. So let's have a look on the internet. Let's Google this. So really, I need the index of the person. Simple as that. So I need to go on docs.bot framework. And I want to look at the documentation for node.js. Oh, just, come on, bot framework. Documentation. Node.js, oh, it's changed. Why do they always change it so often? Still not advertising. Now, dialogues. Prompt for user input, and then I've got a choice. So, how do I get the index? So, we've got prompt choices. So, getting the result of that. So, session, iChoice. Oh, it doesn't tell me, does it? That's no good, is it? Should I just have a number? Can I have a number between 1 and 2? No? I don't know. Right, well, maybe so right, we know who's going first at this point. We know the name, so we can say their name. I need to actually check the name and whether it's position 1 or position 2. I don't know. I'm just going to do this. Session.userdata. In play index equals 0. So the player in play is, I'll do it as 1 or 2. I'll just do in play. User data in play. I'm just going to go with that unless I know what to get from this response. I wonder if I can just use index. Oh, that would be good. I doubt it's just going to be index. I'm just talking rubbish here. So I'm just going to say it's player 1. For now, that is a bug. It just automatically puts it as player 1. So player 1 is throwing. So session data, right, I'm going to have another thing. So I'll do an if for now because that's not very good, but oh well. So if session.userdata. Oh, has anyone joined the chat yet? Still nobody chatting. Thanks. Yep. Session.userdata dot in play equals 1, then return this. Now this is really naive programming here, but because I'm just creating on the fly, you know, I'm just going to then say player 1 so I need to say %s, so that will pipe out the value you require, and then session dot. Alright, I also need to, when I do the throw first, I think I need to then create another variable, session.userData dot player 1 dot requires equals, and then session dot userdata dot score, starting score. That's it. And same for the other one as well. So yeah, same for player 2 as well. Right, let's have a look at that. So I'm saying player 1 requires the starting score, player 2 requires the starting score. So that is this, that's going to be their running total. And then what else am I going to say? Alright, then I'm going to say Bob or Dave or Phil or whatever. So if it's player 1, else if it's player 2, you require, and then however much, and that'll be player 2. Right, I need the name as well. So I need, before this, I need their name. So session.user.player1. It's coming together, this is. It's going to be good, this is. It's not going to be good. So all I'm doing at the moment is telling them what they require. Then I need to prompt them for a value. So what's this saying? Masked. But all I want to do is just ask them for something. So there, I want to do builder.prompts.number. Builder.prompts.number. And then what do I need to say in it? Let's go to the documents. So we want number. So when it's a number, prompt text or message type. What? Oh, right. So then I just need to say, what did you score? Oh, I get you. I get you. So I could actually just put that in. Could I? No, let's keep it clean. What did you get? What was your score? Well, what did you score? What did you score? Right. builder.prompts.number, and then the result of that. So if results.response okay, so let's not do an if. Can't be bothered with an if. I'm just going to get it to do throw again. So just keep asking it. So the results of that, I want to just take it off player one score. So let's just say let's use this same if statement again, but inside it we will do something different. So if in play equals 1, then take it off what they require. So will break obviously if you keep going, but for now I'm just going to keep taking it off because that's progress. So then every time that they throw, it will, and I need to change it back to user in play to be the opposite. So if it's in play is 1 now, I'll change in play to be 2. And if it's in play is already 2, I will change it to be 1. Basic game looping. And then I'll just throw again, and that's it. Then maybe what I can do is if either of them have reached their target, then just say who wins. Alright, so let's control C this node app. Let's see what happens. Hello. Right. What did you score? Stephen, you require undefined. So that didn't work. So I need to, when the game starts, I might just get it to clear it all out, if I'm honest. Maybe, this might be risky, but I might just go with session.userdata equals null. Now this might break things because I don't know how much it relies on session user data. But oh well, I'm just going to make it different every time. No, that's going to ruin it. How can I do this? So that's on default. Maybe I need to do one of just play or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll wipe it now. For now, I'll just wipe it. And then I'll remove it. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get it to ask me. I say let's. You're not doing anything. You're just not even watching. I was going to say you're just watching. You're not even watching. You're not even here. I'm just talking to myself. Anyway. So this will say, I didn't recognize that as a number. Control C, node app. Come on. Session user data is null. Come on. Let's kill this. Okay, that's annoying. Maybe if I just do that. Control C, node app. I don't know what I'm doing, do I? Haven't got a clue. So it's like, because it's stuck in the session, I've got to, oh, now it's moaning. Come on. Right, start again. I didn't recognize that as a number. So it still thinks, it's still down here thinking that I'm doing a throw. Not sure how to clear that. Maybe a new conversation. Right, okay. Let's see what happens. Hello, Paul and Stephen. We are playing a game of 501. Paul to throw first. Stephen, you require undefined. What did you score? 45. Paul, you require, what did you score? 30. Stephen, you require undefined. 23. But you get the idea, and it's actually is flicking between the two. So I'm quite happy with that. That is a good point to end it on. Well, it's not that good. It would have been better if it was working. But I'm getting somewhere with it. It's looping through the different players. Obviously, I've done something wrong. One last stab at it, just to see. So I'll do I'll do Control C on this. Let me just have a look, see if there's anything I can do. All right, so for a start, I didn't do %s there. For another, I might just swap out player 2 requires with player 2 requires dot requires with player 2 requires in the whole worksheet, and the same for player 1 requires. I just did that. Sorry. Replace all that and then do the same for 2. Let's have a look at what's happening. Replace all. Thank you. Alright, save that. Node. What did I do? Alright, yes, I invoked node. Right. See what happens now, come on. Right, so 23. Yeah, oh right, so it's still undefined. We got stuck in this strange loop. I could do a check to say if it's undefined. Yeah, let me do that. I think that's where I need this. I need this to be set at the point when you set what the starting score is, and I need to check if player 1 requires, so on this, right, if not that, or that equals undefined, then ask me again. Come on, if any of them equals undefined, ask me. New combo. Who is going to throw first, Paul or Stephen? 1. Oh, come on. Oh, I've done it on the throw first rather than what you're going for. Sorry. bear with me. I actually need to know starting score. Starting again. Right, this is going to work now. It's going to work. This is not going to work, is it? Oh, here we go. New conversation. What score are you starting from? I'm starting from 501. Right, Paul, you require 501. Get in there. What did you score? Well, obviously I scored 60. Stephen, you require 501. What did you score? 180. Paul, you still require 501. Right. Last thing. Come on, what could it be? Am I not taking it off? No. So I did a throw. Oh, I just did player one requires. I just need to do response. Results. Yeah. Results dot response. I just need to take it off it. And I think that will work up to this point. Right, and then I need to go because my dinner break's finished. Come on. Whew. Let's do this. Sorry about the accents, no offence. Right, come on, let's ask. Paul, you require 501. What did you score? I scored 180. Stephen, you require 501. What did you score? I scored 26 B&B. Paul, you still require 501. Right, I don't know why that is. I don't know. It's annoying me. Never mind. It's okay. I can come back to that. But there you see the basic premise of this Dark Scoreboard chatbot that I'm doing. So I'm going to go now. If you were watching it on Twitch, well, why didn't you bother chatting to me? Still no one chatting. If you're watching it on YouTube, sorry, it's not really a YouTubey thing, it's more of a live thing. So if you're watching it on YouTube, follow me on Twitch and try and watch me on the next one. The next one I might be at home late at night, sun in bed, so I probably won't be talking on it or with a video. So I might just be coding away, but I'll probably have Notepad open and talk to you like that. But then again, no one's going to be talking. So thanks for watching. Subscribe on my YouTube channel, comment, like, all the rest of it. Thanks a lot. Bye.